Greetings to everybody. Welcome to another Zoom meeting on the Dhamma practice. So we'll start with the first person, which is Felicia Chan from Malaysia. Felicia.
Good evening, Ajahn. I don't have question for tonight, but I feel my meditation progress is good. I will continue to practice.
Yeah, as long as you stay happy, then you are good. You should not have any sadness or any, worry, anxiety, or anything like that. Your mind should be just merely knowing.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Next, Yok Bay from New York. Yok Bay from New York.
Good evening, Brother.
Yes. Can I help you?
Yeah, today I have two questions, one for myself and one for my friend. The first one for my friend, now it's New York, so many gangsters and like it's not the world like before. It's very bad. She want to advise you, can she back to living to the village?
Can she live in the village? Where?
Yeah, now she living in the New York. Can she move back to the village living for the whole life? She want to ask you about that.
Well, it's up to her where she feels safe. If she feels safer living in the village, then she goes to live in the village.
Yeah, okay. Then the next question about myself. So far I do my meditation. I feel happy, and also could I set up like a level for my meditation? I need your advice for it.
Well, you want to practice to the point where you're always happy all the time, not worry about anything, even aging, sickness, or death. You can somehow make peace with your aging, sickness, and death. Come to terms with it and not worry about it. That's the goal of practice, really. Not to be sad or disturbed by any event. But you, of course, you will try to live as safely as you can. But if it should happen, that something should happen to you, you're ready to accept it. So that's the goal of practice. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Brother. Thank you.
Next, Kok Sing from Singapore.
Yeah. Good evening, Ajahn. Please allow me to just update on my meditation. So I'm still counting my breath from 1 to 10, and then after that 1 to 10 again. So I tell myself that my duty is just to make sure that each time my breath each time my mind runs away, my duty is to bring the mind back to the focus, which is the breath, and not to be too worried and not to think about the results, which is the absorption, concentration. So just focus on the process of bringing the mind back. Each time the mind runs away, bring back to the breath again, and so on. Yeah. That's all, Ajahn.
Yes, the goal is to stop your thoughts, stop yourself from thinking, and just stay focused on your meditation object and ignore everything that appears while you meditate, because they are all distractions. They will prevent you from being absorbed in your meditation object. You want to be so absorbed that you're totally, completely separated from the rest of the world. So that's what you want to do. And you have to do this even when you're not meditating. You want to keep controlling your thought as much as possible. Don't allow yourself to think aimlessly or daydreaming or anything of that sort. Only thing when you really have to, with the essential things that you have to do. But most of the time, try just to be merely knowing. Then when you meditate, you'll find it easier for your mind to be absorbed in your meditation object. And you can come into calm and equanimity quite easily and quickly. If you have strong and continuous mindfulness. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Ajahn.
Okay, next, Nanapat from Bangkok.
ค่ะนมัสการค่ะท่านอาจารย์ Right now I get a retreat at เขาชีโอนค่ะท่านอาจารย์
Okay.
ค่ะ about my practice I found that walking meditation and Dhamma listening is very workable for my practicing ค่ะท่านอาจารย์ค่ะ
Okay. Keep your mind occupied so it doesn't think too much.
ค่ะ about the way that ท่านอาจารย์ said to other the previous people in this Zoom, just knowing when we have more mindfulness we can just knowing better ค่ะท่านอาจารย์
Yes. Try not to think, try not to be critical of what you see or hear or feel or touch. Just merely accepting them. Don't think right now. This is the first step. Later on, when you have the ability to enter into samadhi, then after that you can then direct the mind to think of anicca, dukkha, anatta, concerning everything that you come into contact with. But in the start, if you haven't yet got samadhi, then you want to stop your mind from thinking.
ค่ะค่ะท่านอาจารย์ I will keep practicing again ค่ะค่ะ
Okay.
ค่ะ that's okay ค่ะท่านอาจารย์ thank you for your teaching ค่ะค่ะ
Okay, you're welcome. Julia from Colorado, mountain high in background.
Greetings, greetings, Ajahn Suchart. Thank you very much thank you for being a role model for good practice in this world. It's inspiring to me. Yeah. I don't have a question, but I'm so happy to be included.
Yeah, keep practicing, don't give up, especially mindfulness. At this stage, I think you need mindfulness more than anything else.
Okay.
You should be able to stop your thought anytime you realize that you've been thinking aimlessly or uselessly, and you should stop it.
It's when I remember that's very effective, and then I forget. So I will remember more.
The reason why you forget is because you're not watching your thought. You're thinking, you're watching something else.
Okay. Yes, Ajahn. Thank you.
All right. Let me go to Belinda next. Belinda okay, thank you. Belinda from Singapore.
No question for now. Thank you.
Okay. Professor Ken from Switzerland.
Good afternoon, Ajahn. I'm just listening at the moment. I have no questions at the present.
Okay, let's go to San Jose, California, to Karen. Hi, Karen. You still working on your reading biography?
Slowly, yes. I will keep up with my commitment on making sure that there are 2 available every week until it's finished. It'll take me several months. I've, wow, my mind has like taken control of me again. And part of the problem is that my dog, last week you were saying to somebody about how that maybe you can think that you're okay about something, that something, like won't bother you when it happens, but then when it happens, you realize you weren't so okay after all. And that's what's happening with me. My dog is old and she's been getting kind of sick, but she's still pretty good, but she has become incontinent, where she can't control her bladder, especially when she's sleeping. And so I took her to the vet. It was time, and she has kidney disease. So, we got the diagnosis that, she's dying, and we don't know, of course, how long it will take, but it hit me way harder than I thought it would. And so my focus has become doing the best that I can to, make her comfortable and give her the best diet that I can. I know she's not going to get better. She's dying. But boy, I'm a lot sadder about that than I thought I would be. So that's been difficult for me. And then once my mind had that opportunity to go crazy, it's just been going crazy. So I know that I know this will pass, and but it's so good to come here and just be reminded, and you're just so calm and so helpful, and you make it so simple and attainable that I just love. Thank you so much for these Zoom meetings, everybody who makes this happen, and you for being available to us. I just can't thank you enough. But anyway, I don't have any questions. I just thought I'd let you know. You opened the door by asking me how I'm doing with the recordings, and so I'm a little behind on what I was hoping to be. I was hoping to be more ahead, but I'll still meet my obligation. But yeah, I'm kind of going crazy in San Jose.
If you have some other obligation, then it's okay. Yeah. If you cannot catch up with your schedule in this reading biography,
Yeah,
it's no big deal.
Okay.
You have to miss.
Okay, thank you.
But you set up schedule, so you have to do it. If you don't set up a schedule at all, then you won't be doing it. You might do it when you feel like it, and when you don't feel like it, you won't do it. So the work might never get done. But since you set up a schedule and stick to it, then eventually the work will be finished. Unless
Yes.
there's something unavoidable, something like emergency or something that requires you to pay attention to some other thing, then okay, no big deal. You can wait, maybe come back later after you finish with whatever you had to do.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I don't like the stress of something that I used to be really terrible about procrastinating, and that's important to me that I'm able to meet my obligations. And if I'm not, it's just such a giant source of stress for me. So it helps keep me, on track. But yeah, I agree completely.
Okay. Also talking about what you think and what reality is sometimes two different things. You think, oh, you can deal with this thing, but when reality hits you, then you say, oh, it's more than what you expect, what you think. So you have to apply this to everything that will happen later on, and ask yourself really truly whether you are able to cope with them or not, should they come up.
Yeah, and it's like intellectually, I understand what's happening, but then there's that that emotion that's underneath that
Yeah.
intellectual understanding, you know?
It shows how much attachment you have for things and people.
Yep. That is the word. Yeah, exactly.
And also expectation for them, from them to be good, to be well, and to be healthy and strong and so forth.
And then of me wanting to do everything perfectly. Like, in order for me to not have that old Catholic guilt about, knowing that I did the best that I could, then I drive myself crazy, being too much of a perfectionist. I mean, no matter how perfect of a diet I give her, she's going to die. I just would rather not suffer. If there's a way I can feed her that will, reduce her suffering, I want to do that. But then I'll drive myself crazy. Like, is there enough calcium? Is there enough whatever? Oh.
Okay, just do the best you can.
Thank you.
And hope for the best.
Yeah, well, hope for a less suffering death.
Okay.
Thank you.
Next, Chong Lim from Singapore. You have to unmute your microphone. Okay.
Yeah, good evening, Ajahn. I'm actually in the US right now, in Pennsylvania.
Okay. Every time I forget.
That's okay. No questions today, but I thought maybe today I'll just share and update you regarding my meditation practice. I felt yesterday or 2 days ago was a breakthrough session for me. Usually I'll sit for 30-40 minutes, and yesterday, I thought it was a very good session, and I sat for 1 hour. I think I managed to get into deep concentration, and then I got disrupted by an incoming call for work. But I just want to update you. I mean, I thank you for your teachings, your Dhamma sharing, and I'll continue the meditation practice.
Yeah, keep on doing it. And sometimes it might be good, and sometimes it might not be so good. So you shouldn't feel discouraged when you don't get what you used to get. And your mindfulness can still be changing. Yeah. And also the condition that you are involved with can also be a hindrance to your practice also. So if you have to get involved with many things and many people, then you'll find it harder to meditate. And then you don't have to get involved. So this is something you have to reflect, so that you don't expect your practice to only go up and up. Sometimes get into a roadblock, in which you might have to take a detour or something. So
you don't get paid every day, right? You got to.
Yeah.
After 5 days, and you get paid 1 day.
It's like go fishing. You don't know how many fish you're gonna catch each time, right?
No, I don't go fishing. That's against one of the precepts.
I know, it's just an example. Okay, nice to hear.
Good to see you, Ajahn. Thank you.
Good to hear that you're getting something from your practice. This will give you a lot of inspiration to do more.
It sure does, yeah.
Okay. Then we go to Aim and Om. Aim and Om from Pattaya Beach Resort. You have to unmute your microphone first.
Hello, Ajahn.
How are you?
Oh, I'm very good today.
Have you done your homework already?
We have no homework. We only have it on Wednesday.
Only Wednesday, huh? Okay. You have anything you like to ask?
No.
Okay. How's your mama?
She is okay.
Okay. Okay, good. Maybe you'll come and give food again on the weekend.
Maybe.
Okay. Oh, then I'll see you then if you come, okay?
Okay. Okay.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Okay. Next, Johanna from Indonesia.
Hello, Ajahn. Good evening. Right now, I don't have any question. Thank you.
Okay, Philip from Malaysia.
Good evening, Ajahn. I'm listening in tonight. I don't have any questions.
Okay. Let's go to Alfredo. Alfredo from Brazil.
Hi, Bante.
How are you?
Good.
Good.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Practicing.
Peaceful?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I'm.
No stress, no worry, no anxiety.
No, the mind try to confuse us, but we have sati, né, sampajana. We have to maintain equality, né, Bante?
Yes.
The practice is for all life, but any Bante is desperted in the end of the life, Bante.
Yes, you practice until your last breath. You're mindful until your last breath.
Yes.
With mindfulness, you have a calm and peaceful death, and also calm and peaceful living. Also.
Yes.
That's what we want: peace and happiness.
Yes.
And it happens with mindfulness.
It's a travel, no return.
No U-turn?
It's a travel
It's
with no return.
No return, no path of no return. That means you are an anagami then, a non-returner.
Anagami is Jana's level, Bante. It's high level.
Okay. You got any question? Okay, nothing, huh?
Nothing.
Okay. Then we go to Kwan Lee Man. From Malaysia.
Yeah, Rajan, I'm still practicing. I'm feeling contented and peaceful. I can't think of any question yet, Rajan. Thank you.
Okay, good. Genso from Penang, Malaysia.
Ajahn, no question listening here.
Okay, Lim, where are you from, Lim? Lim. Please unmute your microphone.
Push the button.
On the bottom left corner. You have to unmute your microphone, or else we cannot hear you. Do you see the sign that say unmute? It's on the bottom left corner of the screen.
I try to.
I'll come back to you later, okay? Once you can unmute your microphone. I'll go to Evie first from Indonesia.
Namo Buddhaya, Ajahn. Can Ajahn hear me?
Yes, perfectly.
Ajahn, I want to ask, what is Ukanha Nimit?
Ukanha Nimit, it means something that appears in your mind. Something that appears, they are called Ukanha Nimit. like sound, smell, images, whatever.
Oh,
If they
so
just appear and then they don't remain for long, called ukaha nimit.
okay, because I smell a faces smell and fart smell in my meditation for 4 days in a row. This smell always appear when I'm trying to concentrate. But if I woke up, nothing. I concentrate again, the smell appears again. Is this the hindrance?
If you pay
ukan
attention
hanimit?
to it, if you pay attention to it, then it becomes a hindrance. If you ignore it, then it doesn't become a hindrance.
Is this a kind of ukan hanimit?
I think the ukaha nimit they talk about is the images or vision of something like the body, for instance.
But Ajahn said from smell.
Yes, but in terms of the vipassana, they want you to want the skeleton to appear, or the 32 parts of the body to appear. And then you then also continue on with the images by destroying it, by burning it, or by whatever process to show that it is anicca, is impermanent.
Oh, so ukanha nimit is appears when someone is trying to do vipassana.
Yeah, I think they refer more to the vipassana level. When you see a body, when you see the body, it's ukaha nimit. And when you start to break down the body, it's called patipat nimit. The two types of vision or images. First,
So in my case,
when you see something, then you contemplate and say it's anicca, then it's become a different image already. The image you see can switch when you say it's anicca, it's impermanent.
sometimes I see a corpse, Ajahn.
Okay, see a corpse, and
Yeah.
you can do reverse process. A corpse can also be a human, be a living person before he becomes a corpse.
Yeah, I see a corpse lying down in the coffin. So what should I do? I just see.
You just then reflect that you also will be a corpse one day.
Yeah. So if I see, I often see that few.
Or if you see a beautiful body, then you say, eventually this beautiful body will also become a corpse. You just don't see and accept it for what it is. You have to see the process of change inherent in the things you see, such as the body.
So if I see that corpse, what should I do, Ajahn? Just see?
You
ignore?
You then bring your body to that corpse and compare that your body and that corpse. And one day your body will also be like that corpse, you see.
If I think that I will come up from the stage, Ajahn.
Come up from what?
If I see that corpse in my meditation and I think that I will be like that someday, I will come out from this stage and the corpse will disappear.
Well, you keep thinking about it. See? You
Oh,
want to maintain it in your mind.
When we do meditation, we should do that, contemplate like now.
Only when you are on the vipassana level. If you are still on the samadhi level, you should just ignore every images that appear. Anything that appears during meditation you should not pay attention to them.
Just know it.
Just concentrate on your meditation object and ignore everything else. On the samadhi level, But once you move up to the vipassana level, then whatever you see, you will then use anicca and dukkha anatta.
When we do a vipassana level is not in meditation activity, all right?
Sometimes it can also appear in meditation, such as vedana, such as painful feeling.
Yeah.
You also apply vipassana on that painful feeling by using the three characteristics of existence.
When I feel the pain, how I use vipassana, Ajahn?
Just look at it as anicca. It's not permanent. It comes and goes. And it's anatta, something you cannot control, something you cannot stop or prevent. So the only thing you can do if you don't want to have any dukkha is to learn to use ubekha to live with it.
I think I still cannot be in that stage because when the pain arises, I feel the pain very, very horrible. I still cannot.
You should then recite the mantra Bhutto, Bhutto, Bhutto to bring more, to generate more mindfulness and consequentially more ubekha. Then if you keep persistent, when your ubekha becomes strong, then and then let go of the painful feeling.
How long, Ajahn? 1 hour?
No, sometimes it only takes 5 minutes if you just persistent on doing it. And think of nothing else, just recite the mantra for 5 minutes.
Okay, I will try it. Yeah. And I have one question again. I once heard there is a quote that people who have visited the holy place related to the Buddha will be born in the happy world. I have a desire to come to India, but not to be reborn in a happy world. I just want to see what kind of environment the Buddha wants life in. So the quote that visited the holy related Buddha place will be born in a happy world is true or not, Ajahn? Why it can be?
Not visiting there alone will bring you to heaven. But once you bring there, and then you start to think about the Buddha's teaching, and then you follow his teaching, like keeping the precepts and doing dana, then you will go to heaven. So, but not just merely visiting the holy site will bring you to heaven automatically.
So
Just,
we must.
you go there to be inspired that the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha were real. They're not something imagined or made up. The teaching of the Buddha is real. If you follow his teaching, then you will go up to the various level of heaven.
So it's just the determination and the high confidence, all right?
Yeah. If you don't visit, sometimes you might doubt whether there was a Buddha before or not. But when you visit the site, there's some historical connections. You can see, oh, Buddha used to born here, live here, teach here, taught here. So then you start to believe.
Yeah, I really want to see that. Yeah,
So that's the purpose of visiting holy site, to prove to you that the thing about the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha,
to recollect the quality of Buddha, right?
They are real. They are not something like they're not fiction. You know?
Yeah, I see. Yeah, I understand, Ajahn.
Okay.
Yeah. I hope I have the opportunity to go to India. Yeah, must wait until the pandemic end. Okay, Ajahn. Thank
All
you.
right.
Ajahn.
Next, Alvin Lee from Malaysia. We change your name properly now.
Yes, good afternoon. Good evening, Tanajan. Tanajan, regarding the IV's question, right, in terms of watching the pain, I used to watch the pain right? So Tanajan, you're referring to it as vipassana, but since I learned from you, Tanajan, you said you told me to use Buddho. So I've used that. Yes, it takes maybe 5 minutes to get rid of the pain. But previously, when I learned another method, when I watched the pain, it took me longer, and sometimes it's really unbearable as well. So now I'm just sticking with Buddho to basically to keep my focus on my breathing and Buddho, so that pain will go away. So I'll stick with this method, right, Tanajan? And don't try to watch the pain.
Yeah, that's right. The reason why you don't want to watch the pain, because when you watch the pain, then you also have desire coming up, or wishing the pain will go away. And the more desire you have, then the more suffering you have in your mind. But if you don't watch the pain and just keep focused on your mantra, you forget about the pain, and then your mind becomes calm. Half of the majority of the suffering disappear. And even though sometimes the pain will still remain, it cannot bother you. It don't bother you.
Yeah, that's what I find more effective for me. Yeah. Previously, yes, I tried to do this. Look at it as anicca, and my mind get more agitated. when the pain is still there. Yeah,
that's right. You need something to pull the mind away from the pain.
Yes. Yeah.
So the mantra is a good tool to use when your mind is agitated and reacting to anything, not even just pain, anything, sadness, any situation, stress, anything like that. You can just keep reciting the mantra for a while, then all this restlessness and agitation will subside.
Yes. Yeah. It's more effective for me. Yes. Thanks, Tanajan.
Okay. I'll come back to Lim again. See if you can mute. Lim, can you unmute your microphone? You want to say something? You have to unmute first. Turn on your microphone. It's not working. Sorry, you just have to listen then. You cannot say anything.
I think he should come out. He should go out and come back again. Yes. Yeah. Go out and come back again.
Okay. Next, Ricardo from Uruguay, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Ricardo, unmute your microphone.
Hello.
Hello, yes, can hear you now.
Okay, thank you, Ajahn. Right now, I don't have any questions, but I just wanted to thank you for all the teachings that you gave us, and it's a great support for our practice, and I think you are a great teacher on our way through the samsara, especially here in Dharma talks and all that. So I just want to express my deep, profound appreciation or consideration about all the work you do and all the wonderful teachings that you give us every day, and all the metta you put in your words and action and all that. That's all I want to say. Thank you very much.
You should show your appreciation by working harder. Okay? Practice harder. Then I'll be really happy, be glad for you to see you practice harder. Eventually, when you become a monk. Okay. Show me how much you appreciate by becoming a monk.
I will probably.
Okay. Next, Mandy from Canada, Niagara Falls, somewhere around there, right?
Yes. Thank you. My question, well, it's kind of a complicated question, but in my dream, I have a lot of like dreams from a trauma, and in the dream, I was starting to get triggered, and I noticed I can get out of this. All I have to do is meditate. And so I just started reciting my word in my dream and was able to clear that trauma. Now, that hasn't happened to me all the time, but it happened, and I just feel like, is it possible the more I meditate that this is going to be able to happen for negative dreams?
Definitely. What you practice now, you can apply it in your dream automatically.
Thank you.
So, the more you practice, then the more you will be able to deal with the stress of whatever, whether you're awake or you're asleep. They're the same thing. If you make it into a habit to deal with them. So when you sleep, when stress come up, you can also, the mind will automatically use what you have practiced to cope with the stress that appear. Or even prevent the stress from appearing. Instead of having bad dreams, then you will have less bad dreams. And eventually no dreams at all, or very little dreams. Because you have strong mindfulness to control your thoughts. The dreams come from your thoughts and your memory.
If you're doing more meditation, you're going to have less thoughts. Therefore, you're going to have less dreams just in general. You're almost staying in that.
That's right. Meditation can reduce the amount of dreams, amount of thoughts.
Thank you.
Okay, just keep doing it. Okay, mindfulness is very important. Try to stay mindful. When you're awake, don't daydream. Don't let your mind go all over the place. Keep it with your body, or stick with a mantra to start from thinking.
Wow.
Then the intensity or velocity of your dreams will be decreased. And you think less. You only think when you really have to. Okay.
Thank you.
You can use mindfulness to deal with your stress, Even when you wake up, when you feel stressful, feel sad, just recite a mantra. Keep reciting. To stop your mind from thinking. Because your mind, the thinking is the one that creates the stress in the first place. And if you use the mantra, then you can prevent the mind from creating stress. It's simple as that.
Thank you.
You use one thinking to stop another thinking. You think of you're thinking about stress, then you're thinking about no stress. Bhutto. So if you keep reciting Bhutto, then the stress will disappear. Because the word Bhutto doesn't create any stress, right? But when you think about money, you think about war, think about uncertainty, then stress come up. So you want to stop all these thoughts by replacing it with a mantra. Or focus on something, like when you're working with your body, just keep watching what your body is doing. Don't let your mind think about other things.
My second question is, how do you feel, or what is said about metta meditation, loving kindness meditation?
Metta is usually used when you're angry at somebody. Then you want to use metta, which means forgiving. If you can forgive the person because you want them to be well, so you don't want to hold any grudge. So holding the grudge is causing you irritation and restlessness, and you cannot meditate, or you don't feel good. But once you can forgive and give up, no hold no grudge, then the stress will disappear, the anger will disappear. That's what the purpose of metta really means. But it's usually not replaceable to anapanasati, or mindfulness of breathing. If you want to meditate and really calm your mind, you need to either use anapanasati or use a mantra. But with metta, you only use it when you have anger, and you cannot concentrate on the meditation. Then you use metta to bring the mind back to normality first.
Is it best to be doing Bhutto and Samadhi rather than trying to generate a feeling of love?
That's right. You don't want to generate. You want to stop generating.
Okay. Okay.
You only generate because when your mind is generating anger, then you use metta to stop this anger. Once the anger stops, then you don't need metta anymore. Then you come back to the mantra or come back to your breath. Okay.
Thank you.
Understand?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
All right. Next, Tan Wat Yan. Where are you from?
Ajahn, I just want to ask why I always have unwholesome thoughts with me. I just want to know how to get rid of the unwholesome thoughts.
That's because you used to think unwholesomely for a long time before, and it becomes a habit. And the way to do it, you have to replace it with wholesome thoughts. Like when you're angry at someone, then you use metta, say, "Oh, I'll forgive this person." Hold no grudge. You have to think of the wholesome thing, wholesome way.
Oh, I see. Okay. Thank you, Ajahn.
And in order for you to do this, for you to be able to do this, you need to develop more mindfulness. Because even when you don't want to think unwholesome, it can keep thinking and you cannot stop it if you don't have mindfulness. So you should also use mindfulness first. The more mindfulness you have, then the easier for you to replace your unwholesome thought with wholesome thoughts.
Mindful in what way, Ajahn?
Well, mindful is like we've been talking for all this time, is to stop your mind from thinking by either reciting a mantra, Bhutto, 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 all day long if it's possible. Or keep focusing on what your body is doing. Then this will prevent your mind from thinking unwholesome thoughts. And then once you can prevent it when it comes up, you can stop it and then replace it with wholesome thoughts, which will then eventually destroy all the unwholesome thoughts from your mind.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Ajahn. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Where are you from? Malaysia or Singapore? I don't think she listens anymore. Okay, Sri and Jack from Canada, from Toronto, Vancouver.
Ajahn,
Good morning to you. Good morning.
Yeah, good evening to you.
Yeah, we changed the time, Ajahn. We
already switched, last Sunday.
Yes, and it's late, almost 7 o'clock now. Instead of
1 hour earlier. You moved the clock 1 hour earlier.
Yeah.
Used to be 6, now it's 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same time, but a different label. Same time, but a different label on the time.
Yeah.
Different label. Right, that's true.
You just change the level. You cannot change the time, right? The time is all. You just change the level. The label you put on the time.
Ajahn, may I just I received a lot your books, Ajahn.
Finally did. Good.
Yeah, my favorite book. It's from Kunju, and I have many of them, and I'm ready to send to anyone who like the books. So anyone can contact me if you want the best book in the whole world. Like you can let me know if you want the.
I think you mean people living in America and in the West.
I don't mind send it to like for example Ricardo in the
Brazil.
Yeah, or
Uruguay. But not back here, not back to Thailand. If people in Asia, I think they should contact Kunju for it. It's easier. We'll end up sending book back and forth.
But I can also help like if like somebody in Malaysia, like I can help like connect them, like if they want like yeah.
Okay, have you read it yet?
I read it. But I haven't. Oh, actually, I have a question, Ajahn. You always talk about like us practicing more and practice hard as a way of showing appreciation to you. What about like what is a good way for me to show appreciation to my like good friend like Kunjuk, like for her kindness for sending so many books?
Practice the Dhamma. I think she also will be happy to see you advancing in your. If you can keep the 8 precepts, I think she'll be happy.
Because she's a good Dhamma friend, so she wants me to practice the Dhamma.
Yeah, we Dhamma friends want to inspire each other to do more, to practice more. Because happiness comes from Dhamma practice. 10 ways of making yourself happy.
Yeah,
practice Dana, Sila, Pavana. Listen to Dhamma talk, sharing Dhamma books.
Then you posted on your page the 10 ways of making merit, and yeah, it's a really good one. Like it's and it's nice to have it in the writing too. Like you can read it as yeah.
Okay. Any question?
Yes. Ajahn, when I see like in a grocery store, like when they kill the lobsters like alive, like chop them into pieces, like at first I do not want to see, but then of course I go back and see it, right? When we see this, how should we reflect on this?
Put yourself in a lobster position.
Okay.
How would you do then if you happen to be a lobster? You wouldn't want anybody to chop you up, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so you stop buying things, you stop hurting other animals or beings for food. Yeah. You can eat other things.
Okay.
Yeah, we always buy and release them. And when we saw it yesterday,
Yeah.
how brutal, like they
Like
chop
cut in
the
pieces into
yeah,
pieces,
it's
like alive.
it means even more because we feel that it's so much suffering for the lobster.
Yeah, because birth is suffering. Once you're born, then you are subjected to death. So it's better not to be born.
Mm. Yeah, and also Buddha wants us to reflect, like you don't know in what way that you're going to die.
We don't know how we're gonna die. When we're gonna die, we don't know.
Or how you're going to die, like into this, like chop into these small pieces. Like.
But how you die is definite. You stop breathing. But before that, I don't know. But finally, you have to stop breathing to be declared dead.
At that time we don't know, yeah. But then when I came home, so we make donation and then transfer the merit.
Keep reminding yourself of death every day. It will make you somber, makes you more empathy, have more empathy for other beings.
Okay. So Ajahn, like at first, like when we do not want to see this kind of thing happen, is it because we do not want to accept death?
That's right. We still don't understand the Four Noble Truths. The Four Noble Truths say suffering is because of birth, aging, sickness, and death. And the only way is to stop birth, is to stop your cravings for sensual objects. Because when you have sensual pleasure cravings, then you need to have a body to satisfy your craving with. You need to have eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and body to see, to listen, to taste, and to smell, and to touch things, to feel things. So you have to stop these cravings. Then you won't have to take birth as a human being anymore. You can stop your cravings for sensual pleasures by using meditation instead, by relying on meditation as the source of your happiness. Or dana, keeping the precept. These are also ways of making yourself happy. You don't have to watch movies, you don't have to go to parties and shopping and all these things. You don't need this thing to make you happy. It's better to have Dhamma practice as the means of making yourself happy. Then you will also get rid of your craving for sensual pleasure. Understand?
Yes. And but Ajahn, another question is leading to cravings. Because of this, the three tanhas, like all the sankharas that our mind generate, is it because like this, all these tanha form the basis for the thought, like the way you feel this way? Because
the basis of tanha comes from avijja, ignorance of the truth of suffering, of birth, aging, sickness, and death. And not realizing that by seeking pleasure from sensual objects is the one that causing you to take rebirth again and again. But once you come across the teaching of the Buddha, and he said that in order for you to stop rebirth, stop suffering, then you need to stop your sensual pleasure, cravings for sensual pleasure by practicing meditation to replace it. as a replacement of your sensual pleasure. You get spiritual pleasure from meditation instead, or mental pleasure. Once you can do this, then you can start seeking sensual objects to keep you happy. Then you won't need to have a body when you no longer crave for sensual objects. So if there's no Buddha teaching, then nobody will know these facts. Everybody looks for the same thing. Right? We all look for sensual pleasure. Everybody in this whole world, except those who have studied the teaching of the Buddha. So we need the teaching of the Buddha to change or to eliminate the ignorance that keep directing the mind to go look for sensual objects for pleasure. Because the Buddha said this will lead you to more dukkha, the more suffering. Because you keep rebirth, you keep coming back. And this opportunity to come across the teaching of the Buddha doesn't happen in every lifetime. So in any lifetime that you happen to come across the Buddha's teaching, you're fortunate, very very lucky. It's like winning a mega ball lottery or something like that. And it's not easy to win this lottery. It's not easy to be born and then come across the teaching of the Buddha. Not in every lifetime. You might once in 100 million lifetime before you can come across the teaching of the Buddha.
Yeah.
Because it takes it takes so many million years for a Buddha to appear on the world, on earth, to teach the teaching. And the teaching also don't last, it expires after. For this Buddha teaching, he says, it won't last longer than 5,000 years. So we're about halfway there now.
Yeah.
In Buddhist era, we are 2565 now. So we are lucky to come across the teaching of the Buddha. And we know what direction we should be moving. Instead of going after sensual pleasure, we go after spiritual, mental pleasure. Okay.
Thank you, Tanajan.
All right. Next, Gary from Singapore.
Good evening, Tanajan. No questions from me tonight. Thank you.
Okay, Sulan, you come in early today.
Yeah, I came in earlier today. Yeah. So happy to see you again, Ajahn.
No question?
I think I just want to say that I'm very happy. Yeah, when I heard you saying about the part on winning lottery and all that. Yeah, it's really grateful.
Okay, no question. Okay.
Yeah, thank you so much.
I'll go to Lim now. Lim, can you speak now? Can you turn on your microphone? Still not able to turn on the microphone. Huh? Something's wrong. Your mic is not turned on yet, so we cannot hear you. If you look at the bottom of the screen on the left, there should be a microphone. Sorry, we cannot talk to you. Okay, cannot hear you at all. And I can read sign language. What happened when you log in? There's an icon that asks you to use the computer microphone. Right? You have to click on that in order to use the computer. But I'm not sure with the phone whether there's an icon for you to click on before you can enter the room or not. Okay, I have to go to somebody else. Okay, Lynn, sorry. Joko from Indonesia.
Namaskar, Ajahn. Ajahn, I have two questions today, and my first question is, I kind of having a phobia of dark and narrow place. So the trigger comes when I heard a news about someone who trapped in a dark and narrow place, or watch a video or any other similar causes, and then I can feel like afraid to myself. For example, like what happened in Thailand years ago when some children are trapped with the coach. When I heard that news, I suddenly feel afraid if I were there, and how if I cannot get out. And what I wanna ask is this a general phobia, or I can probably handle it in some ways, like meditation. Currently, I'm just thinking that I don't have to attach to my soul, my body. So I think I can be any form of creature, so I can just get out from that. This is my first question, Ajahn.
Well, okay. Let's take one question at a time first. Okay, first. Don't forget. If you just think that when you go to sleep, you're in a dark place anyway. Once you sleep, then it doesn't matter, right?
Yes, but in a in a very narrow place that I cannot move.
It's like sleep. When you sleep, you don't move anywhere.
Yeah.
When you sleep on the bed. So just pretend that you're going to sleep, that's all.
But there is a symptom like I'm just like afraid of that, fear of that.
Then you use the mantra, use chanting to stop it. Keep chanting or keep reciting the mantra. Then your mind will not react to the situation. You will accept the situation.
I see.
Calmly.
Yes, currently I'm just trying to use some ways, and I can a bit calm and soothing. But when the triggers come, it just repeat again.
Yes, so you just have to use the mantra to stop it. Every time it starts to become stressful, you just keep reciting Bhutto.
Is this causes by previous causes, Ajahn? Or maybe probably in my past life?
It was your reaction to this.
Okay.
You've been programmed to react in this way. So every time you think about this thing, then you start to react right away. But you can reprogram your mind and tell it not to react. Tell it to just to stay with Bhutto, and pretend that you're gonna go to sleep once. And when you sleep, you don't care where you are when you sleep.
Okay, Ajahn. And my second question is, I read about the story in Buddha's life when Buddha tried to make a queen called Queen Kema to get rid of her attachment to her body because she think that she's beautiful and she will be just that way. Relating to this thing, should we advise someone that has attachment to their body, like they think that our body, our physical appearance is our physical appearance matters a lot, and yeah, this is my question.
Well, first of all, the person have to ask you for your help. If the person doesn't ask you for your help, then there's nothing you can do really.
Yes, I'm just afraid because even Buddha, when try to advise the queen, then the queen show hatred and do not like that advice.
That's right. Sometimes people cannot accept the truth yet.
Yes.
So you have to also see the person that you try to advise, how much truth they can take.
Yes, Ajahn. But I just sometimes think about to find a way in order to make those people understand that. But ending up like I just think probably everyone has their own karma, so I do not also make those people hate me. So I just
That's right. Sometimes by trying to help other people can make things worse.
Yes.
So maybe sometimes better just to leave things alone. Like you say, everybody have their karma, and
should we pray in our should we pray ourselves that hoping that those people have the condition to learn Dhamma themselves, Ajahn?
Things don't change by praying or hoping. Things change by doing. So those people have to do something to change themselves.
So we as other people has no capacity to pray to others.
No, we cannot pray. You can pray, but it has no effect.
So it's just
you can pray and say ask for $1 million. You can pray, but you won't get it, right?
Yes. So it only depends on each of our karma.
Yes, the ability to change themselves.
Yes, Ajahn. I got it. Thank you, Ajahn. ขอบคุณครับ
Okay, you're welcome. Well, Sajalka, you're next. Do you want to ask any question?
Yes, Tanajan, I think you kind of alluded to this when you were talking to other people, but how do I use Buddha's teaching to deal with depression?
To deal with depression. Well, usually there's two levels of dealing with depression or dukkha, suffering. Is the temporary measure of using mindfulness to stop the mind from generating stress by reciting a mantra, for instance. Because the stress are generated by your thoughts. So if you can stop your thought from generating stress, then the stress will disappear. But it only disappear temporarily. It'll come back again when you start to think again. So you want to get rid of the stress permanently, then you have to teach the mind to think differently. To think in terms of anicca, dukkha, anatta, then the stress will not appear forever.
So the mindfulness, if that can become strong enough to override the depression thoughts, then probably it will work. Otherwise,
yeah, temporarily. But when you're not mindful, when you start to let it think again, it can generate more stress again. But if you teach the mind to think in the positive way, in the right way, then stress cannot be created. If you think that everything is anicca, dukkha, anatta, then stress will not appear. Only when you think everything is manageable, everything should be good and well, then stress will arise. Because you know it's not possible, right? So you have to think of the truth. Don't think of your imagination. We always imagine things will be well, will be good, everybody will be happy, we'll have a happy ending. Yeah. Like we have World War II, and after World War II, we thought, no more war, right? Now what happened? We're starting to get World War III now, it's coming again. But you have to look, this is the nature of the world, anicca, temporary, everything is temporary. And keep changing all the time also, not under your control. You just have to learn to accept things, that's all. By understanding the nature of yourself, which is the mind, and the mind is just merely a knower. And it doesn't being hurt by anything, because it has nothing. It's like empty space. How can you hurt empty space? Why your body is not you either. Your body is just your temporary possession, like an automobile you use to take you around. You're the driver of the body. The mind is the driver of the body. So whatever happens to the body doesn't happen to the driver, the mind. So this is how you have to change your perspective to see things like this. Move from a self to a knower. Move from a body to the mind. You have to discard the body. You have to let the body be, because there's nothing you can change the nature of the body. This is the right way of thinking. Right way we call wisdom or sammaditthi. Right view, right understanding, right thoughts. When we have this right thought in our mind all the time, then no stress can appear. But when you have wrong thought, you think of the body as being your possession, you think of the house and whatever belonging to you, and you want to protect it, save it, then you are in trouble, you're creating stress. Okay?
Thank you, Tanajan, thank you.
But before you can think in this way, you need to stop the wrong thought first, by using mindfulness, by mantra. When you start to think my body is me, then you use Bhutto. Oh, I worry about my body, it's gonna get sick. Will I get COVID or not? And if I get COVID, will I get real sick or die or not? You just have to reverse. You have to stop this thinking first. Once you stop this thinking, then the next step is to teach your mind that your body is gonna die, your body is gonna get sick. The body is not you, doesn't belong to you. You have to think like this all the time. Then whatever happens to your body, then it will not affect you, your mind. This is right thinking, right view. And this will stop the mind from creating stress. See, the mind itself is the one who creates the stress. And the mind itself can stop this process and reverse the process by thinking correctly. Don't think wrongly. Don't think that everything is permanent, everything is belong to you, everything will give you happiness. This is wrong view. You will have to think everything is impermanent, everything doesn't belong to you, everything will hurt you sooner or later. Once you can see this, then you don't want to have anything. Then when you don't have anything, then there's nothing to hurt you with. It's only when you have something that will then hurt you. When you have something and you lose that something, then you feel bad. But when you have nothing to lose, then you won't feel bad. Because you're not losing anything, because you don't have anything to lose in the first place. So Buddha teaches us to live simply, just to have as little as possible of the possession, only enough to survive. The four living requisites of life, four requisites of life: food, shelter, clothing, and medicine. That's all we need for the body. And it doesn't have to be expensive either. It can be cheap one. It does the job. Whether it's a cheap four requisite or expensive four requisite, it do the job of keeping the body alive until it's taken away by sickness and death. Then we can have more time to concentrate on developing mindfulness and wisdom. Because we won't lose time trying to make money to buy expensive things for the body. Better take the time that you spend on making money and start to use the time to make mindfulness and wisdom instead. I have a saying that goes like this: the foolish look for money, the wise look for mindfulness and wisdom. Okay, if you're rich, then you're foolish. If you have million, if you're a billionaire, you're foolish. You're not smart. You're not wise. But if you have mindfulness and wisdom, you're wise. Look at the Buddha. He had no possession, right? But he had a lot of mindfulness and wisdom. So he had no stress. And why the rich people have lots of money and they have also lots of stress with them. Especially now with the fluctuating of the market, right? With all the prices going up. Stress all over the world right now. Except for those people who have mindfulness and wisdom. So they don't go after money, they go after mindfulness and wisdom. Because they know mindfulness and wisdom will get rid of the stress, prevent the stress from arising. But with more money, the more stress you get. The less money, the less stress you have. Because the less you have to lose, right? The more you have to lose, the more the stress. Okay.
Okay. I think, Tanajan, I think you're the best therapist that ever lived.
I don't know. Don't spoil me, please.
I think Czech already does that too often anyway.
Yeah. Okay. Just attend the meeting is good enough for me. Okay. You don't have to say any praises, give me any accolade. Just participate in the meeting. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Lim, you want to speak again? I don't think so. Can you unmute your microphone again? No? Maybe you have to take some tutoring. Go check with YouTube and ask how to use Zoom. All right. Maybe it's the time now for question from Facebook. Okay, Kun La, any question from Facebook?
Yes, there are 4 questions from Facebook, Ajahn. And the first question from Un. Good evening, and all admin team. I'm Bun Un from Penang, Malaysia. Ajahn, please explain when meditations, Ajahn said must be mindful and use mantra, putto, putto, putto. But why after few hours, when my leg and nerve feel pain until burning, my concentration in breath or mantra, putto, putto disappear? because my mind was conquered by the pain and made me give up surrender and moving my leg. And the question is how to make my mind become concentrated or focus mantra Bhutto to overcome the pain. Thank you.
You have to force yourself to continue reciting Bhutto, Bhutto. Yeah. If you don't force yourself, then you will give up, and then you will not advance when you come to the point where your mind becomes distracted by the pain. If you want to bring back concentration, then you have to force your mind to keep reciting the mantra or keep chanting something. You have to force it. If you don't force it, then it will stop, and you want just to give up the meditation. If you force it, then you're generating more mindfulness, and then the mind will become less stressful, and then it can continue on meditating.
Next question from Cherry. Ajahn Suchart, if observing the precept to refrain from eating at forbidden time, as a lay person is causing disruption to one's family. Example, he is unable to have meals with family after the forbidden time. At that time, mother feels sad, so should he continue to observe this precept? Thank you.
Well, if you find it creating problem with other people, then maybe you should not do it yet. You should only do it when you are not surrounded by people who doesn't understand what the purpose of keeping the 8 precepts. Like when you go to a monastery, then you can keep the 8 precepts. But when you're at home, you just keep the 5 precepts enough.
And there are 2 questions from Aini Lam. First question is, Hi Prajahn, is the realization of Vimutti Dhamma the ultimate explosion of all kilesa, which is only achieved through meditation? Thank you.
No, the Vimutti appears in 4 levels. That's why we have 4 levels of noble disciple. Sotapanna, when you reach the first Vimutti, you become a Sotapanna. When you reach the second Vimutti, you become a Sakidagami. When you reach the third Vimutti, you become an Anagami. And when you finally reach the 4th Vimutti, then you become an Arahant. So Vimutti comes in stages, but they can come one right after the other. If your mindfulness and wisdom is very strong, it can process the problem real quickly, but they still come in 4 stages.
And the second question from Aini Lam. When one sits in meditation, is there a preferred facing direction, like facing the east or the west, or any direction, as I wasn't aware of the facing? Thank you.
Not necessarily, unless you want to be more more closely paying respect to the Buddha, then you usually turn toward the direction of where the Buddha lived, which was India. So if you're in the West, then you have to face the East to be able to face to the Buddha, because he lives in India. But if you live in Thailand, then we have to face the West in order to show our respect to the Buddha. But other than that, if you don't want to show any respect, then you just meditate in any direction you want.
And one more question from Aini Lam. Is Mahasati and Mahapanya is ultimate or final ones before the last jhana leading to the Nibbana? Thank you.
Well, Mahasati, Mahapanya means adult or mature mindfulness and wisdom. While normal mindfulness and wisdom is considered adolescent mindfulness and wisdom, not strong enough. But when mindfulness becomes mature, then it becomes very strong and automatic. It works all the time. Is that all the questions from Facebook?
No.
Okay. We come back to the Zoom meeting. Anybody would like to ask any question, please raise your hand and unmute the microphone.
Kenneth.
Ken, Professor?
Ajahn, I just would like to mention, as Jack said, I also received quite a few books from Kunjup.
Okay.
So anyone in Europe who wants to have one can contact me.
All right.
I'm the European distributor.
In Switzerland. Okay.
Yeah. I also am arranging for these books to go, some books to go to the monasteries in Europe.
Yeah. Could you show me a picture of you presenting to a couple of monks? Are they in Switzerland?
That was the monastery in Switzerland on Sunday. Yeah.
I see. Near your house?
Yeah, it's quite close. Well, about 2 hours from here on a train.
Is that where you go sometime to practice?
Yeah, that's where I go. It's one of the monasteries that Ajahn Sumedho set up in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
So Ajahn Chah tradition.
And there, how many monks are there?
They have 4 monks at the moment.
4 monks.
Yeah, it's quite a small place.
And accommodation, can they put up with many people? Or?
Yeah, they have some accommodation for lay practitioners, maybe about maximum of 10 people, but they have a small number at the moment, about 3 or 4.
Not individual kutis.
No, it's all in one building.
One building.
They have a kind of a building. It used to be a hotel, actually, a kind of Swiss chalet type building.
And is it in town or out of town?
It's in the mountain. It's very quiet on the edge of the forest.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
All right. So you don't have any question? Huh?
No, I just wanted to say about anyone in Europe who wants one of these books, they should just let me know and I'll send it.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
So anybody have any question?
Karen.
Karen, okay. Karen, stand to say.
Hi, thank you. Yes, I have 2 questions. One is, when you were explaining metta, I realized at the end of every recording, I say with metta, bye-bye. So is that incorrect?
No, it's okay. It means friendliness. It also means friendliness. When you consider everybody your friend, that's when you say metta.
That's what my intention was.
Goodbye, friends. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I wanted to make sure I'm not mad at you. I promise.
No,
I forgive you.
So when you don't get angry at friends, you forgive friends. You don't hold a grudge with friends.
Okay. All right. I thought, I should find out. Maybe I should stop doing that. Okay. Thank you. And then my other question is it a form of dana, or I don't know what, to listen to someone who just needs to talk, who are maybe
yes.
Okay, even if they're complaining and it's stressful for me to listen.
we call this serving other people. This is one of the 10 ways of making yourself happy.
Okay.
Serving other people.
Okay, I've been trying to look at it that way, but it's tiring. I find people tiring. As much as I like people, I find them tiring. And there's a friend, she's sick, and she just needed to just complain about somebody for like an hour and a half yesterday, and I thought, okay, this is a form of dana. I'll just listen, because that's what she needs. And you had mentioned that to Belinda about with her sister. Just let her
make other people happy. And when you see them happy, you also feel happy.
Okay, because I know it relieved her. But boy, I was tired when I got home. Okay.
That's because you didn't really want to do it.
No, I did not.
If you wanted to do it, then you will feel good that, oh, I have made her happy. I'm so happy.
So it was, in a way, it's more of a sacrifice. So maybe I get more merit, right? Okay, thank you. That's all.
Okay. Anybody else? Philip first.
Tanajan, I have a few questions regarding to rebirth on male or female. I think you have been getting quite a fair bit of questions in the last maybe Zoom and also on Facebook. You have mentioned that whatever you are born a male in this lifetime, chances are you will most probably be born as a male the next life. My question is that I understand that in the Deva world and the Brahma world, there is no such thing as male or female, right? Is that correct, or is that understanding right?
Well, it's a dream world, but you still dream as a man or a woman. In your dream, right? Sometimes you say you might visit a brothel or so, something like that, then you must be a male. But if you say you visit a beauty salon or something like that, then you must be a woman, right?
Right.
So you still dream. It's a dream world. Once there's no body, then the mind lives in a dream world, really. And whether it's a good dream or a bad dream world, that's all. If you did a bad karma, then you have a bad dream world to exist in. If you did a lot of good karma, then you have a good dream world to exist in. But when you meditate and you enter to jhana, then you don't dream at all. That's the Brahma world. Brahma world has no dreams, just calm, just equanimity, just peace and bliss from calm.
Right. Okay. So in that calm state, there is no such thing as being male or female.
No sexual thing, because everybody who can reach this stage have to abandon the sexual desire. They have to keep their precept, the 8 precepts, whether you're a man or a woman.
Okay, understand. Thank you. Understand.
But when you're reborn, you still retain the same. If your mind is male, then you will still reborn as a male human being, even after you have gone up to the Brahma world. But Brahma world is also impermanent. Sooner or later, when the power that sent you up there expire, then you have to fall down from that and take a human birth again. Then if you used to be male before, then you take a male birth. If you used to be a female, then you take a female birth again. I think that's something in the process when the body is being formed in the womb, when the mind of the person who attached to the body has this influence in creating the sex of the body, I think. I could be wrong, but scientists, medicine people, they will probably say it's in the gene, in the genetic, and so forth. But this genetic is influenced by who? I think it's by the mind. If it's a male mind, then it will influence them to create a male body. If it's a female mind, they will influence the body to become a female body. But then you also ask, what about those people in between?
Yes.
That's probably because the mind itself is in the process of changing from male to female or from female to male. But it hasn't yet achieved total change. So somehow got mixed up with the body.
See.
So you can change form
the mind might be more male than female, so it might get a female body, for instance, but it still thinks more like a male, for instance.
Understand.
Thank you, Ajahn.
See, sex is in the mind, not in the body. It's the mind that thinks about sex, or liking which type of gender, liking male or liking female. But when the mind is the process of change, from switching from male to become female, and during the process, when it's not yet completely changed, it might then have the wrong body. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Okay.
I could be wrong. Okay, I don't want to be put on the spot. It's just the way how I analyze things anyway.
Okay.
All right.
But it doesn't really matter how. It's how, it's what you are, and try to accept what you are, and learn to live with it. And usually it's the mind that considers itself as being a male or female. So regardless of what the body, the mind has, it will think it will become a male, even if it has a female body, and vice versa. If the mind is female and it has a male body, it will think it will still act as a female. But how the body got switched, I don't know. Accidental or whatever, I don't know. But it doesn't matter, because the defilement are still the same in both sexes. Greed, hatred, and delusion are still the same. And the way to practice to get rid of this is still the same. The Noble Eightfold Path.
So it doesn't matter whether you're female. Is it harder to reach enlightenment?
It's harder because the female, you see, in order to reach enlightenment, you usually have to live in seclusion. And usually, female will be more dangerous for females to be alone. So they have more hindrances. By male, they can go live anywhere in the forest, and nobody will attack, will rape the male, right? It's only the male who will rape the female. So that's the disadvantage of being born as a female in terms of reaching enlightenment.
Still have a long way more to go.
You have more difficulties, let's put it that way, more obstacles. You might have to live in a community of female practitioners, but then this can become a hindrance also, as compared to living alone. Living alone, then you won't have to deal with other people, right?
That's true.
That's
it.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Kok Seng, you raise your hand.
Ask another question, and that is, Ajahn, will you mind to elaborate more about the right speech of the Eightfold Path? Thank you, Ajahn.
Right speech. Right speech for lay people is to tell the truth, not to tell lies. This is right speech. But for people like monks or people who take up their ordination, then we also, besides speaking the truth, we also have to speak no foul language. We cannot speak foul language. We cannot speak things that just chatting, without any benefit from chatting. Only monks should only talk about Dhamma. Like right now we're here, we talk about Dhamma. We don't sit down and discuss politics or criticizing this or that person. This is not supposed to be right speech for people who are ordained. And also we should not speak in a way that will create division, causing people to hate one another, for instance. This is considered right speech for people who are ordained. But for lay people who keep the 5 ordained precepts, all you have to do is to speak the truth, not to lie.
Okay, so that means no idle speech, no false speech. This applies more to the monastic and for okay. So for lay people is as long as one do not tell lies. So this is considered as good enough.
But it would be better if you can also avoid saying bad language. But sometimes lay people find it more sort of automatic for them sometimes to curse, to say foul language. But it's not considered breaking the third precept, the 4th precept.
Oh, so if let's say some lay people they were talking about politics, for example, about the war and so on. So is this considered as idle chatter? Idle chatter?
Idle chatter, because the only chat that is valuable or beneficial is talking about the Dhamma.
Okay, but it's considered. But for the lay people, even though they are engaged in idle chatter, it's not considered as breaking the precepts.
That's right.
Okay, yeah. Okay, thank you, Ajahn.
Okay. Kunla, you said you have more questions? Go ahead.
Yes.
On Facebook.
One question from Facebook and one question from YouTube of Dr. V. First question from Go Winston. Can we dedicate merits to our deceased relatives or parents if the wholesome actions done in past when it just popped out clearly in our mind suddenly, like offering alms to monks or nuns few years ago, because merits are never destroyed or erased from our mind? Thank you.
No, it's not destroyed, but it's completely gone in terms of feelings in yourself. You don't feel as good when you did it, but once you have done it, it's gone. You might have some linger in your memory, but it's not like when you actually get it at first. So we usually don't use our merit to dedicate. we make new merit. At least this is my understanding. But if you think you can dedicate your own merit, then go ahead.
And the last question from Cher. If we change the movement from pain, we could continue meditation. Why do we have to withstand the uncomfortable gesture? Thank you.
Because if you move your body and then you're restarting your meditation, you go back to zero again. So it's like driving out the house, and you drive for 1 mile and they say, oh, I forget my something. You have to go back and get it. Then you go back to the house again to get it. Every time you come back to the body, every time you move your body, then you're restarting your meditation process. Because the meditation the purpose is to separate the mind from the body. So when you meditate, you don't want the mind to have anything to do with the body. You want to pull the mind away from the body by focusing on your meditation object. But when you start to move your body, then you bring your mind back to the body again. So you're not going anywhere very far. You want to get very far when the body becomes painful. What you should do is generate more mindfulness, like reciting a mantra or do some chanting. Then this will prevent you from having to move your body. Then you will advance more because your mind will be calmer if you can pass this stage.
That's all,ท่านอาจารย์
Okay. Anybody else have any question? Okay, Sulan.
Thank you, Ajahn. I have a few questions. Just now, I think you were answering one of the questions that the Deva realm is like a dream world. So is it like is it something like how we are now in the human realm? Like we are in a dream world. So
Well, you can call this as an awakened dream.
we can dream.
Awakened dream and sleeping dream. When you are awake, but you still dream, right? You still dream of getting this and getting that, going here and going there. This is also using your mind to generate these dreams. But we don't call it dream, we call it reality, right? But it's actually a dream because it will pass away, right? Like whatever we did yesterday is no longer here today, right? It's gone. So it's like a dream also.
Oh, okay. So it's not any different from the Deva realm.
No, except that they're more suffering because you have the body to deal with. With the Deva, there's no body to deal with.
So that's in a way why ours is like a awakened dream. Then theirs is like sleeping dream.
Again, come again. Can you say it again?
So because we have a body and then we are able to experience more suffering, so ours is awakened dream, but theirs is sleeping dream.
With sleeping dreams, you don't have to deal with the body. You can, when you go to sleep, then you can dream about going to America, going to wherever you want to go, or whatever you want to do. But when you're awake, you have the body, then you have to use the body to take you there. But it's still the same dream. It's still a dream, because whatever you do, once you have done, once the time passed, then it's like you look back and it seems like a dream to you, right? It's gone. What you did yesterday is no longer here today.
Oh, okay.
It's like what you dreamed last night is no longer here now. It's gone.
Yeah.
So every experience is really a dream, whether waking or sleeping dream. That's all.
Okay. Yeah, I think it helps me to understand a bit better. Because I think the part that it is a reality is that it's not imaginary because our actions actually have karma, right? So that's actually
the reality that we live in is a temporary reality. It comes and goes. Like after we finish this meeting is no longer around, right? It becomes a memory instead of reality.
Then where is the reality?
Reality is in Nibbana.
Oh.
That's when there's emptiness. Emptiness is always around. Emptiness is always there. Never gone. Never disappear.
Never gone, never disappear. Then it is constant there.
But everything we do in this world, they all disappear, right? Look at the people who lived 100 years before. Where are they now? They're all gone, right?
Yeah, they are all gone.
Yeah. And we also will be gone. After another 50 years or so, we won't be around here either.
Oh. But I thought like karma is constant. So since karma is constant, it's permanent there.
The constant here is that the truth doesn't change. The truth of the
Oh.
Dhamma doesn't change.
Mm.
The Four Noble Truth doesn't change. It applies to every generation, every era.
Mm.
The new Buddha will discover the Four Noble Truths and he'll teach the Four Noble Truths like this Buddha.
Mm.
So this is what it means by akaliko. Doesn't change with time. The truth doesn't change with time. The truths always remain the same. The Four Noble Truths always remain the same. Okay?
Yeah.
All right?
So if let's say like if like during our sleep we have a bad dream and then like we feel disappointed and all that, what we can do is we tell ourselves that that one is it didn't happen, it's just a dream.
But it happened, but it's no longer here.
It happened and no longer here. So this is how we should treat them.
Okay?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I have another question. It's so if let's say the conditions are unconducive and then it brings about like bad thoughts and all that, which bad thoughts is always there unless like we are enlightened. Then like I remember one of the chants says like, may we be born with an upright mind. So if let's say conditions are poor, then like how does one like ensure that we can born in an upright mind?
To be born in where?
An upright mind.
Upright mind. By developing the mind now, by practicing meditation, mindfulness and wisdom.
Okay. So that in like regardless of like the conditions or like the state that we are born in, with mindfulness, then we can born with an upright mind still.
Mindfulness and wisdom.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's why you have to do now. You should practice now, developing more mindfulness and more wisdom.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Ajahn.
Evie from Indonesia, you raise your hand. And mute microphone.
Can Ajahn hear me?
Yes.
Ajahn, I want to ask how to calm people who are sick and afraid of bodily harm to death.
How to help them?
Yeah, because I see my father-in-law, which is 3 days ago, he's sick and he just complained of his body, headache, or stomach ache, and have many disease in his body and blah blah blah. So I say, yeah, that is the nature of the body. We must getting old, sick and die. When I saying this, I see his eyes. There is a fear. So what can I have a good explain to him so he can hear and come and accept, yes, this is true. But how to explain this thing to him, Ajahn?
Well, sometimes you can. People sometimes are like children. You cannot tell them the truth because they cannot understand or accept. So you just have to teach them something else, like chanting.
Yeah, because he is the very religion, but his religion is the Maitreya. Maybe the Maitreya doesn't give this explanation like Buddhism, because the Buddhism explanation maybe for many some people is too cruel.
Right, too hard for them to take.
Too hard, too cruel and too hard for them.
Yeah.
So maybe they cannot accept. So I have no good explanation for him, and I can see his eyes there is a fear. So when I think and I see this case, I think the one thing who make people afraid of that is the near death condition, which causes a lot of pain and trouble. And after the body dies, what happened to the mind? No hurts anymore, all right? I am asking this to know more about that, so as not to be afraid of the death, Ajahn.
By studying the teaching of the Buddha, then you understand what the body is, what the mind is, what happened at the time of death. It's just a separation of this what you call connection. That's all. The mind go one way, the body go another way. The body goes to the four elements. The mind go to the next body, or exist in the dream world, in the spiritual world until it gets a new body. That's all it is, really. So the death of a body is like a process of changing a new body, transplanting old body with new body. Rather than just change the heart or the lungs, you change the whole body, the 32 parts.
How long do spirit usually wander for the new body, Ajahn?
It depends on your karma. See how much karma you have to reap while you're in the spiritual world. It depends on the balance between your good and bad karma. The larger balance, then the longer you will have to reap your karma. But the smaller the difference between the good and bad karma, then there'll be less time you spend in the spiritual world.
So the best is we have get the human body, then the living as the spirit, all right?
Yes, with the human body, if you have the teaching of the Buddha, you can then practice. You can study the Dhamma from the Buddha or his disciples. Without the body, then you cannot learn Dhamma, unless you live in a Deva world and the Buddha or the noble disciple have this special ability to connect to the spiritual beings. Then they can also study the Dhamma from them. Otherwise, they will have to be born as a human.
Ajahn, I want to asking Ajahn motivation when I am lazy to wake up for meditation, because sometimes when I'm tired, I can't be lazy. Usually I wake up at 4 a.m. but
Because you don't set up the resolution before you go to sleep. If you set up the resolution, then when the time comes, you get up, even though you don't want to get up.
Yeah, so I must make a resolution before I go to sleep.
That's right. It's intention, really. Intention. I'm going to get up at 4 or 5, whatever the time it is.
Promise to myself.
Yeah, promise yourself this. If you don't, then you feel lazy. You don't want to do anything. Just sleep.
Yeah. Now I am 5 a.m.
Okay.
Okay, Ajahn. Thank you, Ajahn.
All right. Anybody else would like to ask question? We are almost out of time. Sulan again. Okay. Make a quick one, okay? That's 2 hours already.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Ajahn. Just wanted to ask, like, is there yesterday, today, tomorrow in Nibbana?
No, this timeless. In the spiritual world, there's no sun, no earth moving around.
Oh.
The reason why we have days, weeks, and seasons because the movement of the sun and the earth.
Oh, okay. I see. Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay. Well, folks, that's about it for tonight or for today. Depending on where you are, I think.
Can we have another 2 questions from Facebook and Dr. Lisa
Okay.
now?
Okay.
There are 3 questions ท่านอาจารย์ 2 questions from Nishami from Sri Lanka. Does negative thoughts disappear by doing more meditation?
Yes, the more meditation you do, the less thinking you have.
And second question, ท่านอาจารย์ said that with progress of meditation, you are more happy without anxiety and worries. So do you have to do wisdom practice after meditation for this?
Well, there's 2 types of meditation practices. The first one is mindfulness meditation. Then the second one is wisdom meditation or vipassana meditation. So you have to do both, but you do one at a time first. You start with mindfulness meditation, then you move up to the next level once you have reached the first level.
And last question from Cher. For the beginner, how to start practice in Dhamma, studying, chanting, or meditation?
Well, if you want to go real fast, then you study as little as possible. Study only what you need to know. Don't worry about other things. If you want to meditate, just learn how to meditate. If you want to keep the precept, just learn how to keep the precept. If you want to do charity, just learn how to do charity properly. That's all you need to know as far as practice is concerned. You don't have to study the whole scriptures.
That's all ท่านอาจารย์
Okay. Well, I think that's about it for today. Thanks very much for your participation in this meeting. I hope it is beneficial to you and help you advance in your practice. In the meantime, please stay safe, stay mindful, and keep on practicing. And if all goes well, I'll see you again next week at the same time. Thank you and good night. Goodbye.
สาธุค่ะ
สาธุค่ะท่านอาจารย์ Thank you
See you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Thank you,
admin ค่ะ
Thank you, admin.
Thank you.
Hey, everybody.
Bye bye.
Thank you for helping with the book.